I'm Joanna. I'm a professor in computer science at the University of British Columbia here in Vancouver, Canada. To give you a sense of my vintage, I attended my first CHI as a grad student in 1995, Gulp. I've been papers co-chair for CHI before, and this year, first ever year to the best of my knowledge that CHI's been cancelled, I am the technical program co-chair. I've also been part of the transparent statistics groups that strove to add clarity to the guidelines for both authors and reviewers around transparency in different types of research contributions. I myself come from a more classic HCI quantitative experimental background. So my early days as a researcher, I was either doing hardcore experiments or using mixed methods. Latterly, I'm doing a substantial amount of pure qualitative work published at CHI. Much of what I've learned in qualitative methods, however, has come from working with others. A big shout out goes to my grad students. They receive classic training in qualitative methods, hardcore qualitative methods courses at the grad level, and they've taught me a lot. Okay, so that's me. I'm going to make one key point for this video teaser, and I'll leave the rest of the panel itself. It's about replicability. So we, all members of the CHI community, need to shift our orientation around replicability. Replicability absolutely makes sense for quantitative methods, but it doesn't make the same kind of sense for qualitative, certainly not for all kinds of qualitative methods. So for quantitative, an author, say researcher A, could document their study methodology and analysis process in sufficient detail, probably putting a bunch of gory details in supplemental materials, such that another trained researcher, say researcher B, could in fact seek to replicate that full study process, including collecting the data, or at a minimum, rerunning the analysis on researcher A's data. And the results of the analysis should replicate. They should be the same or near the same. This is simply not the case for rich qualitative research, that kind of research that involves thick descriptions. Basically, there are some forms of qualitative work that are interpretive by nature. The researcher's perspective is one of the inputs into the analysis. So transparency means that this perspective or positionality needs to be acknowledged in writing in the paper. But high quality qualitative work, it's credible, it's robust, it lends confidence to the reader, but it is absolutely not replicable in the way that quantitative work is. A different researcher or different research team could bring different positionality. So as we iterate on transparency guidelines for qualitative work at CHI, including what we require researchers to submit as supplemental materials, we need to ensure that replicability is not the across-the-board standard that we are seeking. Hope to see you, virtually of course, at the panel next week.